So that's it. I don't think there's any difference at all in the student, but there's a hell of a lot of difference in the teachers. That's where you have to be careful. We're fortunate, while we're talking about teachers, especially, and I was going to talk about the 3rd and 4th year level today. We have excellent teachers. We really do. See, we still have most of them, you know, that we had a lot to do with hiring them, but they're very good. And I'm afraid they're going to be tough to replace. See, they don't have PhDs. A lot of them don't have masters, but they have know-how. They know how to do it. They know what to do to develop the practicing artist. See, to become a professional. You know, you say you want to, at least by the time you get through a college education, they can draw a little bit. Tom, 90% of them more, maybe 95% of the art college graduate can't draw worth a damn. That's the problem. Proof, I'll just tell you. About a dozen years ago, we got 2 gentlemen out of California came to see us. They were representative for Walt Disney. They came on to see, you know, saw Miss Kinney and me, and we were, you know, happy to see them. We were nice to them, and they looked around. They didn't see too much of the campus, you know. But we started to talk to them, what our philosophy was. The more we talked, the more they said, the more they liked it. Then we took them over to the exhibition hall, student exhibition. They saw what we do, the proof. This is what we do and how we do it. Well, they fell in love with it. A couple of years ago, we got a note somewhere out of the Orlando, Walt Disney studio in Orlando. We had more graduates employed by Walt Disney than any other school in the country. And by the way, you know, we were doing all this while some of our bluebirds were trying to, you know, sail us down the river by merging us with Franklin and other stupid jerks. See, you gotta tell it the way it is. They were stupid jerks. And these are the trustees of the museum. You know, here we're doing this. Walt Disney, matter of fact, I said, well, why don't you go into Ohio State? They started to laugh. I didn't laugh, they did. So we're not going to waste our time. Most universities were not visited by them because they saw the results of so much. So they had a list of colleges of art and design. Same way with Hallmark, see? And, yeah, we were tough, but only from the point of view of quality, see? From the point of view of quality. See? And to give you an example, we were on the 3rd year level. We were talking about color here, you know. You teach the kids. See, most colleges don't even teach color. They think, oh, they'll do it their way, you know. You know why they don't teach it? Because they don't know what the hell to say. They don't know it. We teach the 3 years of it, the foundation year. We have it, bring it up in the 2nd year level. On the 3rd year level, we have probably one of the best courses in the world. I saw an example of one problem, almost looked one of ours out of a school, an art school in Switzerland. So I said, it must be one of our graduates teaching there because it was too close to what we were doing, see. But to give you an idea, you know, we just didn't say, you know, paint. No, I said, here's one color. What can you do with it? Vary it. Watch it. Like you said, take blue. You know, Make it green, make it grayer and grayer and grayer, and bluer and bluer and bluer. Put them together. Look at the variety you can get with one color. See, that's one problem. The kids had to do that with stripes, and they see it. See, they had to see it. They comprehend, they respond. That's what we teach it. Then the second problem, it goes on to complementary colors. See, like red against green. See, how can you make them work at best? You can use black and white if you want to. You start using black and white, red against green. Now they realized that they had to dominate in one or the other. In anything, in art and aesthetic, just like music. In music, you want to create a song, you got to dominate with a melody. And you got to hear the melody, how it permeates through the entire song. It's the same way with color. See, when you work with color, with say redness against greenness, you have to, dominate. What do you want? What kind of dominance do you want? Greenness dominant? More of, thereof, redness, See, then beyond that, the next, you take, here's a triad of color. A triad, we use 3 different colors. There, the dominant factor becomes more important now. Use black and white, triadic. Watch them work. Watch the weight of one against another. See how they feel together. See, if they break apart, it's remember the difference between a flag and a painting. A flag, you normally use contrasting chroma because it has to be seen by distance and recognition. But in a painting, you can use gray, gray reds, gray, gray greens, gray, gray blues, soft feeling, see, responsive. And just like music, see, minor keys, the melodic character. See, and you go on with more variety of color. Then you teach the kids, you say, now look, color has space. See, color has space. What kind of space? How does it work? You give them problems to work with space in color. See, there for a long time, I remember one instructor that wasn't too good in teaching color. He was teaching kids, he says, black recedes always. Black recedes. White advances always. They should never say that. They try to get Gainsborough, not to paint the blue boy, because they say you can't paint a portrait or a painting with blues. Gainsborough did it. See, you can always say that. You have to be careful. That's the kind of subtlety. But this is what I want to do today anyway, to give you a feeling of the 3rd year level. You see, yet somehow, with all of this, see, most schools they shrug their shoulders at it. They don't know it, except for a few schools like University of Yale, because of Joseph Albers, introduced a certain amount of recognition of color, but he does it more from an academic point of view. We do it in both the academic approach and the implementation. Work with it, watch it work, see how it responds. See. That's how it goes, and then you develop. Then you say, all of a sudden, here, paint me a picture with grays. I'll never forget it, one day, and then you see these kids in 3rd year level, they do these things at home. They bring them in, and then for a call upon, they have to go up in front of the class and talk about it. And the instructor sits like I used to sit like this, about 5 or 6 feet away. And some of the kids used to get nervous, but I used to make them laugh, relax them. But they got nervous anyway. See, I remember this one boy talking about the dominance of grays. And that wasn't enough. I said, wait a minute, what kind of gray? What are you dominating? He didn't know. I said, this one boy said, the cool grays that you're dominating in or the warm grays? There's a difference, you know. And most people don't even realize there's a difference in the grays. See, we had to awake a company out in New York State somewhere to remake the gray papers, both in cool grays and warm grays. Somehow they stopped making them because not enough schools were calling for them. But we called for them and they made them for us. Anyway, the gray painting, this one student went up. He had a little gray accent. They were supposed to use an accent with the dominance of grays, the cool or warm dominancy. These are words of the student. He said, and look, this is my accent. See, well, when I painted the accent, you know, it was really a gray. See, but when I put it up against the painting, it was a red. See, by contrast, there was enough variety difference in a little accent to the red began to, you know, come out by contrast of the dominance. See, in that case, I think it was a cool dominance. See? But that's the kind of stuff they had to talk about. And it goes on and on to the final problem. It's really tough. You know, we say, we give them an extra week to do the homework. It's about this big. I have an example downstairs, but I forgot to bring it up. One. Can I go down and get it?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, here's